the the morning has barely got going, and I was just in the middle of doing a lesson, and news popped up that Tommy Robinson has been arrested out with his daughter and her friends celebrating her birthday. He's been remanded in custody, and it's hoped that he will appear before a judge on Monday. But in the meantime, he has been detained and under lock and key. I I don't endorse Tommy Robinson in any way, but I find the way in which he seems to be the object of some sort of haranguing campaign is quite disturbing. There must be better things for the police to be doing than be constantly arresting and detaining Tommy Robinson. If you remember, there was an issue over the Remembrance Day, and I can't remember whether that was the same time that he was in a cafe, and a huge number of police came into the cafe to question what he was doing there. I think that was before that. And so much of this has been caught on camera, and I don't think it does any credit to our police force or to our judiciary. There are other things which are more important than harassing an individual who has, yeah, perhaps he hasn't been a beacon of propriety and good spirit, but he's done his time. He's paid for his crime, and a line should be drawn at that point, and the police should get on with sorting out the other problems in society rather than simply going after those people who are very well documented. This is one of the problems of the Home Office and one of the problems of the police. Once you have documentation, once you are, for example, a student, if you're a foreign student, there is documentation. Make sure it's correct, because if there's an error in that documentation, you could well find your visa revoked, and then it takes a devil of a job to get back into the country to finish your course. I've observed a number of students who've been caught in that mess. And yet, there are people who are clearly criminals walking the streets, causing problems, and the police don't seem to give a blind bit of notice to them or concern about them because they're not very well documented. I mean, I hesitate to use the term lazy policing, lazy Home Office, but that is the thought which comes to mind. And yeah, there's a point which you just wonder, why does it take so many police to be constantly monitoring Tommy Robinson? Of course, on the other hand, a lot of people have been inspired by some of the rhetoric and some of the language that is put out in the name of Tommy Robinson. Whether he is directly responsible for that or not, it's certainly done in his name. And the rise of right-wing nastiness is very noticeable today, but I don't think it justifies all this pressure on one individual. Sorry. But I'd love to know your views on this, and I'd be very interested. We come back to the old adage: I don't agree with you, but you've got a right to speak. And okay, you may have been in prison, but you've done your time. You are now a free person, and I'm not sure we're demonstrating that with all these constant arrests of Tommy Robinson and the constant restraints under which he is held.